Hi guys, welcome back to SV Blown Away.
Give it up.
In this episode, you're joining us on the magical island of Rhodes. So relax, sit back and enjoy the adventure. We are Natalie, Ian and Nelson, and we are sharing our lives with you. If you're new to our channel and you enjoy our videos, please don't forget to give us a like, subscribe and share these videos. Welcome on board. Blown Away is a 44-year-old steel ketch and she is sailing us around the world.
Yeah, I think the best thing about having the bed next to the galley is the smell of bacon fried in the morning, guaranteed to get me up. That's up to no good. Let's go out and see what she's doing. Deploying solar panels.
Deploying solar panels.
Why? What are we doing with them?
I'd like to make some water.
You're putting the water maker on. Oh. We're currently in Rhodes. Lovely little anchorage. Forget the name of it, so I'll dub that in at some point. This place is really pretty. Busier than we would like, but yeah, nice. Very nice. And the castle up on the hill, there's a monastery or something up there as well. Oh, wrong way, there you go. Sorry, using an iPhone. Yeah, and that's, we're going to go and visit that at some point. And the history around here is just amazing. I'll find out more about that castle and I'll let you know.
In the 8th century BC, Lindos was the major trading centre between east and west. However, the importance of Lindos declined after the foundation of the city of Rhodes in the late 5th century BC. In classical times, the Acropolis of Lindos was dominated by the massive temple of Athena Lindia, which attained its final form around 300 BC. In the 14th century, the massive fortress was built on the Acropolis by the Knights of St. John's to defend the island against the Ottomans. Today, the ascent to the Acropolis is through quite a steep path, but the entrance of the castle, welcoming you with the knights' coats of arms still hanging intact, is well worth the trip.
Cable runs along here and plugs into there. And that goes to the MPPT charge controller. I'm thinking these need a wipe off, don't they? You? But
Yeah, we need the chamois.
the chamois. Well, yeah, I don't think we're allowed to get the chamois dirty.
Go get the chamois.
Okay. 6 amps at 24 volts. And the water maker is on. Let's make water.
Rhodes is quite a popular tourist destination with lots of frequent flights, and Lindos is one of the pretty bays that all of the tour boats come to. Here you can see one of the many tour boats just picking up all its passengers to take them back to the city of Rhodes.
And after 6 o'clock, everybody's gone. We have the place to ourselves.
Night watch. Wind's picked up. It's in the forecast to get about 25 knots. It's probably about that now. Just checking the other boats around us. We've got nobody upwind of us, so we're in a pretty good position here. Eh? We moved this morning, so we were anchored on rocks. We've moved over onto the sandy patches. Our anchor's well set. So there's a powerboat and a few cats off our starboard side. He is not that far away from us. Maybe only 20 meters. Nat's sound asleep. And there's a few out over this side as well. On most of those lights you can see a shore side. There's quite a bit of light pollution here. This is our anchor watch. So we've got our central position, we've got our circle that marks our guard perimeter, and then you can see these cluster of black marks. That's where we've sat most of the time. Part of the time we were off up here during the day, and then as the wind's picked up we've gone the opposite direction. So our anchor's currently 42 metres away, which is pretty good because we put out 45 metres of chain, bearing 296. And if we were to go outside of that guard zone, which you can see is set to, guard zone set to 45 metres, so it's only 4 metres, 2 metres now. If that symbol goes outside the guard zone, the alarm goes off. And it is not a phone app, this is a Vespa watchmate, and it's something I would recommend to anybody if you can get your hands on one. I'm not sure they still make these units, which if they don't is a shame. Vespa were bought out by Garmin, I believe, so possibly Garmin will carry on producing them, I don't know. But this thing, worth its weight in gold. Because I can't sleep. The kettle's going on.
So I went down into the lower saloon out of Nat's way as to not wake her up, because I'd already done that, right? And I thought, just check the weather forecast, which we do probably about 30 times a day. Today's weather, not so bad. This is on gusts, hence we're doing the anchor watch because it's gusting to 30 knots. Don't like the look of Saturday. Very often these anticyclonic rotations bring bad weather. We've seen the Medicanes, we've been in them, we know what they are, and that circular spinning air mass is not a good sign. So I came off of the wind forecast and decided to take a look at the rain and thunder forecast. Not something that you would daily check necessarily. We often forget to check the rain and the thunder forecast because here we simply don't see a lot of that type of weather. Don't like the look of that either. So that is a storm cell, and that is coming our way. Time to move.
So there's a storm on its way. We've been watching it on Blitz Autumn, the live lightning tracking website that we use. We know it's coming down through the Ionian. It's going to come around the bottom of the Peloponnese and into the Dodecanese, which is where we are now. Winds are due to come from the south. This anchorage is massively exposed to the south, so we're off ski. We are off ski. Not supposed to be big winds, but there is lightning in amongst it, and we know that our past history tells us that when those lightning storms come through, the wind can go pretty wild. 40 knot forecast turns into an 80 knot howling gale for a couple of hours as the storm passes over. We also need to go get some food. We don't have a lot of food in here. The smaller islands, it's quite difficult to get any kind of shopping or provisioning because of the size of the supermarkets. Here we bought a small amount of groceries and it was 80 something euros. It was a lot of money for what it was. So we're going to head up to the main town. We're going to the main marina on Rhodes, and we're booked in for a couple of nights. 60 something euros per night. Not the cheapest thing in the world. And what we find in the marinas in Greece is that if they're close to another country, they're expensive. And I think the reason for that is that the other countries' marinas are expensive, and the Greeks know that everyone going there is kind of used to paying a lot of money for those marinas. Corfu was expensive on the other side of Greece in the Ionian, because it's close to Italy, and the Italians are used to paying 90 or 100 euros per night to stay in a marina. I think Rhodes is expensive, Kos is expensive because it's close to Turkey, and the Turkish marinas are quite expensive. All the other places that we've stayed at, Kalimnos, really nice marina, dirt cheap, 20 euros, as opposed to 60 euros that we're paying today.
Okay. Where the bikes are? The golf cart? Okay, there's a red and then a motorbike. Okay. Perfect. Now I'll stick the bow in over by that rib. There's a ladder, so just watch that ladder, okay? Yeah, I see the crown lines on the power line. It's a wind-off berth. If we can, there's a blue bollard just behind the ladder. But we'll try and get a midship line onto that, and then we can walk it in. Just count me down on that wall now, okay? Count me down on that wall, as I lose the bow.
Here we are, with a little help from our new best friend. We're in Rhodes Marina.
A little bit forward, pass the mooring lines and then reverse. Alright, now reverse.
And this is what a marina should look like. At 60 euros per night, I've got 2 people on the ground taking lines, 1 guy in a rib pushing the bow in for me. Nothing like simmy. So, with the forecast for thunder, lightning, not particularly high winds, we are safely nestled away in the corner of a marina. And bonus points for these guys, I asked for an alongside berth, which they provided because it makes it so much easier getting Nelson on and off. And then later that evening, we received our emergency broadcast warning of an imminent storm. These broadcasts are sent to every telephone that is connected to a mast in that area.
With the clouds getting darker and the swell increasing inside the marina, we decide to check our lines, double them up where necessary, and then head inside. One thing we were really impressed with Rhodes Marina was the marineros were always driving around or walking around the berths, checking to make sure everything is okay. Okay, so give us another line on the other side.
Any rope on the middle, would be taken over there on the other side.
Okay.
Let's have another mooring line with bigger angles.
Okay.
I think and what was for us a restless night tied up in the marina, for other people it was a complete nightmare. 3 people died on Crete as flash flooding swept away cars. So we were really lucky just to have a few scratches and a few bumps on the boat that can easily be polished out. Other people lost property and loved ones, and our hearts go out to them.
Don't forget to join us again next week for some huge maintenance jobs. Yes,
Woo!
Ian did just pull a window out.
Better not to do it in the first place.
And for the eagle-eyed amongst you, maybe we'll see that this picture has been taken on board Blown Away, although the picture is not a recent one. It is from the 70s. May I introduce to you Mr. Bill McKenna. This gentleman is the original owner and builder of Blown Away, or Berintha as she was then known. And sadly, Bill is no longer with us, which is an absolute crying shame because I would have loved to have met him. However, his son Liam did reach out to us via the internet and the magic of YouTube. So welcome back on board Liam, who has joined us as a Ko-fi supporter, and we hope to get some more information on the build of the boat, and also maybe we can meet up and do some sailing. It's been a long time. And once again, a big shout out to our monthly contributors, David, Captain Svetlana, and now Bill and Liam McKenna. Recent contribution from Graham Elvey, thank you. And a big shout out to our Patreon crew, Matt, Ian, Michael and Par. Thank you so much for your support. Really, really appreciated. And if anyone else out there is interested in helping with the making of these videos, please find the links for Ko-fi and Patreon in the description down below. Thank you for watching. Hopefully we will see you again next week.